Hello again. I'm Kartar, bringing you Yoga with the Stars, with a particular focus on the upcoming conjunction between Jupiter and Neptune in their home sign of Pisces. Today is March 1st, and we have the new moon in Pisces tomorrow. But I thought it would be helpful to just talk about the sign of Pisces before we're focused on what's going on within that sign. So Pisces is the last sign of the Zodiac. So you can think of it as the soul having traveled all the way around the wheel of all the various signs and coming to its end point. And so there's certain qualities in Pisces that go with that. There's a sensitivity and a subtlety. There's an empathy because you've been there and done that. There's a reflective quality, looking back over the journey, over the lessons learned. There is a contemplative element to the sign of Pisces. Also, it's the end of things, so the veil is thinner, and some of the Piscean qualities reflect that. So there is greater access to intuition, imagination, spiritual guidance, communication with other life forms, with animals, with plants, with people. A subtlety and sensitivity in that communication. So the symbol for the sign of Pisces is the fishes, and it's generally portrayed as one fish swimming in one direction, the other fish swimming the opposite way. And we refer to these as the upstream and downstream Pisces. So the upstream Pisces, you might think about the spawning salmon, determined and moving purposefully back to its spawning ground, driven by the needs of the whole, driven by its larger purpose. Whereas the downstream Pisces is pretty much going with the flow and swimming along with the currents and with the path of least resistance. So this is where we see the downside. All of the signs have positive and negative attributes to it. And the downside of Pisces is perhaps an excess of passivity, an excess of sensitivity that becomes hypersensitivity, a tendency to take the lines of least resistance, especially in the face of things that seem challenging or difficult or ugly. So there can be a naivete. And the big danger in Pisces is escapism, and that often is seen in terms of addictive patterns, especially drugs and alcohol, but it could be addiction to social media or sleep just as well. So the ocean is the home of the fish, and many astrologers see that as, in a way, a more fitting symbol for Pisces. Pisces is a water sign, and it's mutable water. So mutable water is flowing and boundless. And so the image of the ocean is very suited. It holds everything together. It's the largest thing on Earth, so it gives us a sense of vastness. It gives us a sense of depth and of connection. It connects the continents. You can't really draw a line between one ocean and another. There's no boundaries within the ocean. So it's a beautiful symbol both for Pisces, and it's often used by spiritual teachers as a symbol for consciousness, for wholeness, for oneness, for source energy. The ocean symbolizing that oneness from which all life emerges, all awareness emerges. And in that metaphor, you can see the waves as our identities, our individual identities. The little wave rises up and looks around and says, wow, I'm me, I'm a separate entity, forgetting for the moment that it's really part of the ocean. So the wave is always part of the ocean, but has the illusion of separateness that comes from its rising from the ocean's surface. So when Neptune first moved into Pisces, it was in 2011, and honoring that and taking our first glimpses of what that might mean, a group of yoga students and I drove over to the coast, spent time walking on the beach, just getting into the vibration of the ocean, and then sat in a line along the beach, looking out, facing the ocean. And we did some meditations to connect with that boundless energy. I'm not sure exactly what meditations we did at the time, but the one I'd like to lead us in today is one that would have been perfect. It is called To Experience Infinity. It's a very strong feminine energy meditation. It uses a mudra that is called the Yoni Mudra, so the female sexual organs are symbolized, and it puts us in the energy of that oceanic flow through the sound of our own breath. So as we practice this meditation, I'd like you to be listening to the sound of your own breath. And this would be wonderful if we were sitting in a group and we could all hear one another, because the effect is much more striking that way. But this will just invite you to be a little keener in your attention and awareness to the sound of your breath, because it ends up sounding like the flow of the waves, coming in onto the beach, receding back out, the gentle flow of the ocean waves, or sometimes not so gentle, but we'll be doing it with a long, slow breath. So ours will have a slow, relaxed pace to it. The mudra that we're using, we bring together our thumb tips and our pinky fingers. The other three fingers are extending away from the body and are held together. Our gaze is going to be down at the tip of the nose so that we're actually looking down at the mudra at the same time. The breath is a long, slow inhale through puckered lips. And the exhale is a long, slow exhale through the nose, using the navel to push out the last of the breath so that we really empty out on that exhale. So see yourself on the sandy beach at the ocean's edge. And as we do this breath, feel the rhythm of the ocean's waves. Feel the call of the vastness of the ocean. Feel the infinity that the ocean embodies, and your own connection is always part of that infinity, even as you're rising up as a single wave. This is generally done for 11 minutes. We will shorten that time slightly to stay within the limits I try to set on these videos. So again, tip of the nose, long, slow inhale through the mouth, through puckered lips, long, slow exhale through the nose, using the navel to pull back against the spine to be sure you really fully empty out on that exhale. And just as important as doing the breath is listening to the breath and hearing the sound of the call of vastness. Okay, let's inhale together. Exhale all that breath out so we can start on empty. And inhale to begin through puckered lips. Exhale nose. Listening to the sound of the breath. And please inhale deeply. Suspend that breath. Feel the fullness of the breath. And exhale, relaxing the breath, relaxing the hands. And just sit for a moment and hear the sound of the ocean continuing in your being. In the depths of our being is the depths of the ocean, because we're part of it. As waves on the surface, we cannot be separated from it. The ocean welcomes, contains, nourishes all things, all of life, all of consciousness, all of form, all one. That's the message of the ocean and of the best of Pisces, that recognition of the oneness that holds all life together and gives us our nourishment and our guidance. So I hope you've enjoyed this little trip to the ocean, and I look forward to meeting you once again, hopefully tomorrow on the new moon in Pisces. See you then.